Next topic is hydrogen chloride. That means we have to discuss about its preparations and properties. Here the preparation methods are: when sodium chloride reacts with H2SO4, then we get NaHSO4 along with HCl. And one more preparation, when sodium hydrogen sulfate, this is called sodium hydrogen sulfate. When this sodium hydrogen sulfate reacts with NaCl, see, this is not HCl, you just correct it, NaCl, then also we get HCl along with Na2SO4. This is not HCl, this is NaCl, we just correct it, then also we get HCl. These are the two preparation methods of HCl. Next, properties. When HCl reacts with water, then we get hydronium ion. That means this HCl undergoes decomposition. Hydronium ion and Cl minus ion. That means this is acid. When acid is present in water, it immediately undergoes dissociation. That is why here dissociation constant K, nothing but acid dissociation constant is how much? 10 to the power of 7. This reaction indicates that HCl is strong acid because the dissociation constant is 10 to the power of 7. This is experimental value. Next, when HCl reacts with NH3, it produces NH4Cl, nothing but ammonium chloride. So this is the corresponding reaction. Next, aquaresia, we know already, when one part of HCl and 3 parts of HNO3 is called aquaresia. This mixture is used to dissolve noble metals like gold and platinum. Already we discussed this point in group 15 elements. Here one important question is there, that is, what is aquaresia? What is the definition? A mixture of one part of HNO3 and 3 parts of HCl, concentrated HCl, is called aquaresia. This mixture is used to dissolve noble metals like gold and platinum. Actually, these are more stable metals. That means least reactive. That is why their cost is very high. But when those metals present in this aquaresia, they lose their nature because this aquaresia is more reactive mixture. See, when gold reacts with this aquaresia, this is aquaresia mixture, then this gold becomes AuCl4 minus. That means tetrachloroarate ion. That means this changes to this one. That means this is loses its nature. Along with NO means nitric oxide and 2 moles of H2O. Similarly, in the case of platinum, when platinum reacts with aquaresia mixture, then it becomes hexachloroplatinate. So this here also platinum loses its nature. Next, HCl decomposes salts of weak acids. See, this is Na2CO3. This is salt. This is salt of weak acid. How can we say that in this salt NaOH is the strong base and H2CO3 is the weak acid? So this is the salt of weak acid. When this salt reacts with HCl, then it undergoes decomposition and it forms NaCl, CO2 and H2O. Similarly, this is also salt of weak acid, Na2SO3. Na2SO3 is a salt which contains NaOH and H2SO3. This is also salt of weak acid in strong base. When it reacts with HCl, it forms NaCl, SO2 and H2O. Similarly, NaHCO3. This NaHCO3, this is also salt of NaOH and H2CO3. When it reacts with HCl, then it forms NaCl and CO2 and H2O. So what is the important point here? When HCl reacts with salts of weak acid, they undergo decomposition. That is the point. These are the corresponding reactions. Next, uses. It is used as laboratory reagent. and it is used in the manufacture of chlorine. Next, it is used in extraction of glue from bones. Extraction of glue from bones. So these are the use of HCl. Next important topic, that is interhalogen compounds. We discussed already, when halogen reacts with other halogens, those are called interhalogens. Then there are four types of compounds are formed. There is a chance of four types of compounds. One model is XX dash, one more XX3 dash, next to XX5 dash, and XX7 dash. Here X is larger atom and X dash is smaller atom. For example, take chlorine. This chlorine can form this ClF, ClF3, ClF5. It cannot form ClF7. Similarly, in case of bromine can form BrCl, BrF. And in case of this one, it can form BrF3 in this category. In this category, it can form BrEF5. Next, in case of iodine can form IF, ICl, IBr. In this category. In this category, I can form ICl3, IF3. In this category, I can form IF5. In this category, I can form IF7 only. That means in this category, only iodine can form heptahalides. Here, no need to remember this table. So what you have to remember here? Here you have to remember its shape, hybridization, and lone pairs. That means this table, this below table, you have to remember this table. See, in XX dash category, hybridization is sp3. How can we say that? I told you one formula to find hybridization. What is the formula? P equal to G plus M minus C by 2. If you apply that formula, then you can get hybridization as well as lone pairs. By that we can get shape and structure. So you have to apply that formula and you can find hybridization shapes. So that is very important topic. This is very important topic and a very easy topic also. Definitely you will get one mark question regarding this topic in CBSE level. So don't forget to read this topic. This is very important topic. If you have any doubt regarding this one, then we will discuss those doubts in live class later. Next, interhalogen compounds are more reactive than halogen compounds because heteroatoms are present in interhalogen compounds. This is also important one mark question. What is the question here? Why interhalogen compounds are more reactive than halogens? That is the question. So the answer for that question is because heteroatoms are present in interhalogen compounds. Heteroatoms means different atoms are present. For example, ClF3. This is interhalogen because here chlorine atom and fluorine both are halogen, both are different halogens. So different halogens are present in this compound, so that this is interhalogen. So what is the question here? Interhalogens are more reactive than halogens. Why? Suppose take Cl2 and take ClF3. Among these three, which is more reactive? This is more reactive because in this case different atoms are there, F and Cl. In that, suppose in Cl2 only two same atoms are present. If two same atoms are present, then between the bond between those two atoms cannot be broken easily, because both are same atom, both are having same strength. But in this case, both are having different strength. Automatically, the atom which is having more electronegativity gains electrons from other atom, then bond becomes weak, then automatically bond will become broken, then reactivity will be more. So what is the answer? In interhalogen compounds, heteroatoms are present, then bond polarity will be more, so that its reactivity is more compared to halogens. This is very important question. Here one important point is there, that is when ClF3 and BrF3 reacts with any other substance, they liberate its fluorine. That means, see, when you see this example, ClF3 reacts with what? Uranium. Then uranium hexafluoride will be formed. That means what happens here? This ClF3 loses its fluorine to uranium. That means it liberates fluorines to uranium. It gives fluorines to uranium. That is why they act as fluorinating agents. So both ClF3 and PlF3 act as fluorinating agents. What is the meaning of fluorinating agent? When these compounds react with any other compounds, they liberate or they give fluorine atoms. Next topic is oxo acids of halogens. This is also very important topic. Here 4 types of oxo acids are there. One is hypohalous acid, that is represented by HOX. Next one, halous acid, that is represented by HXO2. Next, halic acid, that is represented by HXO3. Perhalic acid represented by HXO4. Halous, HOX, HXO2, HXO3, HXO4. For example, HOF, hypofluorous acid, HOCl, hypochlorous acid, HOBr, hypobromous acid, HOI, hypoiodous acid. You just, instead of halous, you have to put corresponding halogen. Next, halous acid means HClO2. HIQ acid means HClO3, HBrO3, HAO3. Perhalic acid means HClO4, HBrO4, HAO4. Here what you have to remember, here you have to know about their structures, especially regarding structure of oxy acids of chlorine. That means only this part we have to discuss about their structures. And one more important point, all oxo acids of halogens undergoes sp3 hybridization. By using that formula, which formula? P equal to G plus M minus C by 2. If you use that formula, then we get a clear idea regarding hybridization. Here what we have to do, learn? You have to learn about structure of oxo acids of chlorine. See, HOCl, this is a structure for hypochlorous acid, HOCl. Next is HClO2. This is I discussed already in 16th group elements. What is the condition? First we have to take central atom. This is central atom Cl, double bond OH, HClO2. In this case HClO3, this is central atom Cl, here double bond OH. Next, in this case Cl, central atom Cl. First we have to put double bond O, then what we have to think? Positive OH, then we have to write remaining atoms. So that is the way to draw the structures of oxo acids. Next, one more important point is there here, that is, sometimes they ask what is the oxygen state of chlorine in HOCl. What is the oxygen state in HOCl? What is the oxygen state of chlorine in HOCl? Here +1. Oxygen -2, H +1, +1, +1, +2, +2 -2 becomes 0. So in this case chlorine +1, in this case chlorine +3, in this case chlorine +5, in this case chlorine +7. I am telling all these points directly because you know already how to find oxidation state of any atom in compounds. That is why I am not discussing briefly about oxidation states and how to find the hybridization, because I discussed already all these points in class 11. If you have any doubt regarding that one, we will discuss those points in live class. Next one, that is, among all these oxy acids of chlorine, HClO4 is the strongest acid, because I told you already in 15th group elements, when number of oxygen atoms are more, automatically acidic nature is more. That is one reason. And one more reason is, if oxidation state increases, then also acidic nature increases. That is why HClO4. In HClO4, chlorine having +7 oxidation state. In remaining cases, chlorine exhibit +1, +3, +5. So compared to all those cases, in this case, chlorine exhibits more oxidation state. They automatically it exhibits more acidic nature. So HClO4 is a strongest acid compared to oxy acids of other chlorine. Next, see, this is one more important point. That is, when this model, that means XX dash model, when this interhalogen reacts with water, then they forms HX dash and HOX compound. HOX means hydrogen halous acid. But when XX3 dash reacts with that means when this type of interhalogens reacts with water, then also we get hydrogen halides, but along with we get halous acids. When XX dash, that means when this type of interhalogen reacts with water, then we get hypohalous acid. But when this type of interhalogen reacts with water, then we get halous acid. When this type of interhalogen reacts with water, then we get halic acid. And when this type of interhalogen reacts with water, then we get parahalic acid. So here no reaction is balanced. Here you need not learn about the balancing of the reaction. What we have to learn, when this type of interhalogen reacts with water, which type of acid will be formed. You have to remember that point. You have to remember that point only. No need to remember balancing equations. Next, note. Here one important point is there. When chlorine reacts with, actually I have to discuss this point regarding chlorine topic. I forgot. That is why I am discussing that point here. When chlorine reacts with CaOH, that means calcium hydroxide, then CaOCl twice, that is called bleaching powder. CaOCl2, not bracket, CaOCl2 will be formed. That is called bleaching powder. The formula for bleaching powder is CaOCl2, not bracket, CaOCl2. Here one more important point is that in bleaching powder, 2 chlorine atoms are there. Among 2 chlorine atoms, one chlorine having +1 and one chlorine having -1, because this is the structure of CaOCl2. This chlorine attached to this metal. Usually metal loses electrons, so automatically this chlorine gains negative charge. But this chlorine attached oxygen, compared to oxygen chlorine having less electronality, automatically oxygen gains electrons from chlorine, so that this chlorine loses electrons, so that this exhibits +1, this exhibits -1. So this is very important point. In bleaching powder, 2 chlorine atoms are present, but both are exhibit different oxygen states. They are +1 and -1 respectively. Next, the chemical name of bleaching powder is calcium chlorohypochlorite. Calcium chlorohypochlorite. The composition of bleaching powder is CO. This is composition. CaO. Here bracket is there. CaOCl twice, CaCl2, CaOH twice, 2H2O. This is composition. No need to remember this point. Next, when HCl reacts with iron metal, this is also important point. When HCl reacts with iron metal, then FeCl2 will be formed along with the hydrogen. That means initially hydrogen will be formed. After forming hydrogen, then that hydrogen prevents the formation of FeCl3. Thereby FeCl2 will be formed. I repeat that point once again. Listen carefully. When HCl reacts with iron metal, then initially hydrogen will be formed. That hydrogen prevents the formation of FeCl2, nothing but ferric chloride, so that FeCl2 will be formed. So the final reaction is, when HCl reacts with FeCl2 will be formed. So first initially H2 will be formed, after that FeCl2 will be formed. So what is the point? Hydrogen prevents the formation of FeCl2. So this is all about interhalogen compounds, and this is all about 17th group elements.